Acceptance is not approval. Now, if you are fighting for sustained sobriety, then you already know that even though your own family members, friends, people you may have even wronged when you were in the throes of your addiction, even though they may have accepted that you were an alcoholic, right, or an addict, that doesn't mean that they approved of your actions. That doesn't mean they approved of what you were doing, right? And we have to remember that as far as even ourselves, when we are interacting with other people, they may accept some things that they quietly don't approve of, right? Then on the flip side of that, you have to look at your life and say, okay, are there things that I've accepted, whether it's blurred boundaries by other people, whether it's people talking to you a certain way, being mistreated? Are there things that you have accepted that you don't approve of? If you come across these things that you've accepted that you don't approve of, then you might want to consider changing your circumstances. Start inquiring about that, because things that you don't approve of, if you're accepting them over time, what that's going to breed is resentment. And in sobriety, one of the main things you're going to focus on is dealing with resentment. And you don't want to reintroduce any of that into your life. And a lot of resentment comes from people accepting things that they don't approve of, whether it's accepting that their boss talks to them crazy because they need a job, even though they don't approve of it. And they don't think they can go get another job with a boss that'll respect them. Well, that's an assumption that people will base an acceptance on. And you have to watch out for that, because that'll cause you to bring more stress into your life, which could, threaten your sobriety. I'm not going to tell you it's going to lead you to relapse, but it could threaten it. There's a potential, because the more you're depressed, the more you're accepting things that you don't approve of in your life, the more powerless you feel, right? Especially without proper coping mechanisms, which is why you should, go to therapy, talk to people, join groups, get in a program of some sort, connect with other people. You start accepting things you don't approve of, and at some point, it's going to wear you down or wear you out to where you end up doing something that you're going to regret. So it's important for you, and that's where being able to draw boundaries, walk away from people that are toxic in your life, in situations that are not to your benefit, having the bravery to do that is important. So you want to think about that. Acceptance is not approval. And there's a lot of ways to look at that quote, right? The things that you do, people may just put up with because they love you. But the fact is they don't approve. And if they don't, then there's something you need to think about. So when you're sitting around being honest with yourself, not lying to other people, thinking, oh yeah, they all approve of me being a full-blown drunk. At some point, that's what I thought, right? And then you realize, especially in sobriety, people start talking more. Oh man, I remember you did this, man, it drove me crazy. You'll realize that you did a lot of things that people accepted, but they didn't approve of. And on the flip side, right, you don't want to tolerate accepting things that you don't approve of. So I want you to think about both of those things. You might be able to come to some revelation about areas in your life that you need to address. I can't tell you how to address them, but at least they can identify themselves and you can start taking appropriate steps to work on them. All right. So I hope you guys have a good day. Remember, acceptance is not approval. Figure out how that applies to your life. All right. And I hope that pours into you. And until next time, peace.